Hey guys, so it's been a while and honestly it feels good to be back. I have a lot of things to catch up on, a lot of things to talk about, and I'm excited to be talking to you guys again. I'm excited to be talking to you again. So there's a lot I'm going to go over today. I guess mainly I feel like I've been starting a new chapter. I feel like I'm always saying that, but this time it's a little different, and let me kind of tell you what I exactly mean. Now, more back kind of on that topic of what it feels to have this feeling of starting a new chapter. And for me, I think it's more of growing up as a person. Okay, well, to be more specific, I mean, that's kind of vague, obviously, but I'm trying to get at is, for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm taking a plunge, And it feels kind of like cold water because it's in a certain area that I've actually never really fully explored yet, with the full intention of just kind of throwing myself out there. And to better explain that, this is the first time I'm not going home for summer. And, to some it might not feel very serious, to some it might not feel very deep, but to me, it means a lot. To me, it means that I'm starting basically a new life. New people, new scenery, new everything. And so I'm from San Jose, and I'm staying in SF. Finally got my first lease on an apartment. 3 beautiful roommates I'm glad to spend some time with this next year. But for now, it's just me and one other roommate this summer. So essentially, I'm basically on my own. Now, with the feeling that I'm getting lately, it's pretty heavy and it's a lot to process. And I guess for kind of a while now, I've been trying to process and just trying to live out through these feelings that I'm getting. Because I'll tell you this, it is daunting, regardless of what anybody says. Starting a new chapter, a new change of scenery, and honestly, a new life. It's gonna take a lot of processing, a lot of getting used to, but I've been getting used to it. I've been changing a lot of my lifestyle lately. Whether it comes down to health, treating my body like a temple, really putting myself first, being more careful on the way I choose to use my social battery, and honestly just all aspects of life I've been trying to fix. By the way, I just want you to see this view really quick. It's really nice. Something that, right, I've been processing it for a while. Processing it. The thing is because people will downplay. I'm even guilty of myself downplaying a lot of important events in my life. But more specifically, I downplay things that have a huge emotional effect on me, which I'm saying, fuck it, it's done, I'm not doing that, because to sit in these feelings to really take my time to process these feelings and this newfound understanding of myself and my future, it's really important to get as much of that feeling as you can and absorb it. Because, you know, life quite literally is a movie, and you're in your own movie, so why downplay it? You know, live through those emotions, live through those new feelings, because ultimately, when you downplay things, you downplay a lot of your actual genuine emotions. That's why it's important to live through them. And quite honestly, I feel like I'm getting kind of old now. You know, hunk status, what people say, because I stopped craving these super social kind of like, okay, you know, I still love a party every now and then, but I genuinely just don't crave raving, parties. You know, bars were never my thing, but I guess a lot of meeting people through the choice of getting fucked up, the choice of getting drunk. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, and it's a good outlet for some people, but for me, it's never really been that kind of thing, you know? I like to take my time and choose my people wisely, and when I'm inhibited, it doesn't really give me the ability to do that, I feel, but could be just me. But the deeper meaning through all this and why it feels so rough to me is because, you know, summer is where I get to go back home, be with my family, be with my friends, be in a comfortable environment that I've known my whole life. And honestly, my head was telling me, hey, you have a job back home, you have friends back home, you have family back home, you have safety and entertainment guaranteed, you know? But my heart wanted something else. My heart was genuinely telling me, hey, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's time to grow up, and you can't keep telling yourself, oh, next summer, oh, maybe I'll do it next week. No, I'm trying to do it now, and I'm going to do it now. I've decided in my head and in my heart, so that they both align, that staying up in SF is something I want to do, because it's okay to be uncomfortable. I'm teaching myself it's okay to put myself in uncomfortable positions, because opportunities that I've never thought of are going to start happening, you know? When I put myself out there, I'm allowing myself to grow up a little bit, you know? Not abandoning my childhood, but more so growing out of it and building off of my childhood is going to be a very important lesson to me that I'm going to be grateful for the rest of my life, honestly. I like to think of it this way, whereas, you know, when you're a child, you dreamed of achieving so many things. You had very lofty goals for yourself, you know, you had a lot of things that you wanted to do. And your child self is thinking that because your child was obviously too young, not too naive, but too young and just inexperienced to the point where it wasn't time for you yet, you know? It wasn't time for you to really go out there into the world. But for me, as a second year in college, going on to my third year, I know that it's time for me to really put myself out there and really explore new opportunities, because now that I'm at that age where I can really explore, I can achieve those childhood dreams, but also achieve dreams for my future and what I want for my life right now, you know? With age comes certain ceilings, but as you get older, the ceiling gets higher, which means you have more to reach. And me staying in a childlike state, or I guess a childlike home mindset, I limit myself on so many opportunities and so many options. You know, I feel hungry, you know? I feel really fucking hungry. Not the food type of hungry, but that hunger for more, that hunger for something new, that hunger for stability and consistency, and honestly just, I'm gonna step on the stage completely. But honestly, just that individuality, that independence. I've been seeking independence for a long time now, you know? Without judgment, without fear, and you know, honestly, not even without fear, because it is gonna be scary, it's gonna be uncomfortable, but I'm preparing myself for that. Enough about me. Honestly, my biggest takeaways from this is that if there's something that you want to do and you have the opportunity to do it, and really the only thing that's holding you back is yourself, go for it. Fuck it. You only live once. You only get to experience life once. So make sure you experience life doing something that you're happy with and that you want to do. I think a good takeaway is that you should never be content in this lifetime. Maybe not at least until you're dying. But that being said, if you're content and you're comfortable with a specific situation or a point in your life that you're in, how are you gonna ever know that there's more out there? It's like you think you're at the top of the hill, but maybe you're just at the start of the mountain range. Maybe there's so many more hills and mountains that you have yet to see, but you're never gonna know unless you really take that dive, that plunge into cold water. I'll tell you this, the longer you're in cold water, the better you feel, the warmer the water gets, or at least it feels to you, I find that the longer you're in cold water, the warmer it becomes. And that's a sign, it might be really uncomfortable at first, but you soon adapt, you soon get used to it, and you soon start to have fun with it. It's a feeling that you always need, a feeling that you always wanted. And now that you're in it, you're in it. And it might not feel like it, or maybe it will, but you end up living the life of your dreams, the life that you envisioned for yourself, and the life that you always wanted to push yourself to do. Now you're doing it. I'm at the point where I got back in my car and I'm at the end of my walk. And that probably means the end of the video, but you really only have yourself to achieve your dreams. There might be people that help you along the way, but honestly, you're the only one that can get the ball rolling. Keep the ball rolling. Thank you. I'll see you guys soon.